Hello everyone, welcome to the playlist of training on competitive examination. In this session, I'll be discussing most important MCQs on power system, which can be expected for electrical inspector, then assistant engineer, assistant professor. Those examination, you can look over these kind of questions. So moving on to first question, what is a Ferranti effect? Receiving an voltage greater than sending an voltage, then receiving an voltage less than sending an voltage, receiving an voltage is equal to sending an voltage, none of this. Which would be the right answer? According to Ferranti effect, the receiving an voltage that will be greater than sending an voltage. So I can go for option A. Okay, so option A is the right answer. Receiving an voltage is greater than sending an voltage. Ferranti effect is mainly applicable for long transmission line. It is mainly due to light loaded or no loaded condition. Both capacitance and inductance of the transmission lines are equally responsible for this phenomenon. That point also you have to remember. Similarly, when the voltage is applied at sending end, the current drawn by the capacitance of the line is more than current associated with the load. So these are the major reasons for Ferranti effect. You have to take care about these kind of points. Okay. Moving on to next question. The phenomenon corona is accompanied by the production of hydrogen, ozone, nitrogen, and none of this. The right answer for this question, due to corona, the bulk amount of ozone that will be generated. Let us recall a few more points about corona. The corona effect is mainly applicable for long transmission line and medium transmission line. So it is mainly occurring due to high voltage. So it is basically an electrical discharge. As you know that air is a dielectric medium. It is not perfectly insulated. It supports the movement of electrons. If the voltage between the two conductors that is exceeding the threshold voltage or critical disruptive voltage, definitely this corona phenomenon will be taken place. As a result of corona, what is going to happen? The electrons and the ions that will be moving in different direction, opposite direction. Because of that, there will be a high electrostatic force that will be generating between two conductors. As a result of corona, the following phenomenon can be observed. Number one, violet glow, then production of ozone. That is the answer for this question. Then hissing or cracking noise, then radio interference, or you can call electromagnetic interference, EMI, and finally electrical power losses. So these are the major results of corona. Then let me know how to overcome the corona issues. That means the spacing of the conductor should be greater than the diameter of the conductor. So that is one remedy. Similarly, alternating electrical potential difference must be supplied across the line. So these are the different remedies, different solutions, how to overcome the corona for certain extent. Let me know what are the factors which are affecting corona. Number one, spacing between the conductors. Then condition of the conductor. What about the conditions? Okay, external conditions. Then atmospheric conditions. So these are the major factors which are affecting the corona. Moving on to one more question related to corona. Corona occurs when the electrostatic stress in the air around the conductor is dash exceeds in terms of kilovolt per centimeter. Actually, this is the point is directly related to one of the terminology that is called critical disruptive voltage, or you can call threshold voltage. Let me write critical disruptive voltage. Critical disruptive voltage. Disruptive voltage, or you can call threshold voltage. Simple word, that is threshold voltage, or you can call threshold voltage. Okay, threshold voltage. So if the voltage between the conductor is greater than the threshold voltage, obviously the corona phenomenon will be taken place. It is basically one of the dielectric phenomena. So the minimum value of threshold voltage to occur the corona, that is 30 kilovolt per centimeter. Okay. So which option should I opt? I should opt the third option, that is the critical disruptive voltage or threshold voltage that is equal to 30 kV per centimeter. Clear? You can go for option C. Now let me discuss a few more questions. Coming into next question. Which of the following power plant is most reliable? Diesel, hydroelectric, steam, tidal, and nuclear power plant. As far as the plant capacity factor concerned, the nuclear power plant is having the highest plant capacity factor. So I can go for the most reliable power plant is a nuclear power plant. Similarly, regarding the solar power plant, it is a least reliable plant. Okay. Reliability is very less in case of solar power plant. So reliability highest in case of nuclear power plant. This point you have to remember. Let me discuss about another question. Reactive power is not available from AC side filter, static shunt capacitor, DC transmission line, synchronous condenser. Remember, the reactive power is not at all associated with the DC transmission line. For DC system, we are not bothering about reactive power. So no need to go for any kind of reactive compensation. So that is one of the advantages of HVDC system. Moving on to question number 6. Which of the statement is false with reference to the improvement in power factor? Efficiency of the power plant is increased, regulation of the line is improved, kilowatts, that means real power, capacity of the transmission line and transformers are improved, and finally overall cost per unit is increased. So if you provide the power factor improvement with the help of static capacitor or a synchronous condenser, let me recall some another method, phase advances. These are the different methods, you know. So if you are inculcate these methods, definitely power factor of the system will be improved. Load power factor will be improved. As a result of load power factor improvement in load power factor, overall system cost will be reduced. That is actually the true fact. But here, what they have given in the option is overall cost per unit will be increased. Overall cost per unit will be increased. So this is absolutely the wrong statement. So the question is, you pick out the false statement. So that according to this question, option D is the right answer. Let me discuss another question. Which of the following statement is false about the characteristics of line conductor? High electrical conductivity, low tensile strength, low density, and finally none of these. So let me inspect the individual options. High electrical conductivity. So it is a desirable property. So this is not the answer. Then low density. That is also a desirable property. Density means mass by volume. Then regarding the second option, low tensile strength. Actually, this is not, it's one of the non-desirable property. Actually, for a line conductor, it should have high tensile strength, but they have given as a low tensile strength. So this is the right answer for this question. So I can go for the false statement is low tensile strength. I can go for option B. Moving on to another question. Which of the following statements are false regarding the Indian electricity rule, IE rule? 74 materials and strength, 75 earthing, 76 factors of safety, and 90 earthing. Now, no need to say there is a shortcut. You can see option B and D. See, both are same like earthing. 75 earthing, 90 and earthing. Which is the right answer? Actually, 90 belong to earthing. IE rule 90, rule number 90, that is truly related to earthing. But 75, that is not related to earthing. So the right answer for this question is option B, that is 75 for earthing. Hope you got my point. So coming into question number 9, which of the following is false about the feeder protection? So you have to pick out the false statement. Time graded protection, distance protection, carrier voltage protection, carrier current protection. Look, time graded protection, then distance protection, carrier current protection, all are related to feeder protection. But the option number C, carrier voltage protection, is irrelevant to the feeder protection. So I can go for option C. Option C is the right answer for this question. Okay. You have to read the question carefully. Moving on to the last question. To compensate Ferranti effect in the transmission lines, shunt inductors are switched on it. So we have discussed about Ferranti effect at the beginning itself. Substation, generating station, sending end side, receiving end side. To compensate the Ferranti effect, you have to use the shunt inductor obviously at the receiving end side. So I can go for option D. So option D is the correct answer. So in this context, you have to concentrate about Ferranti effect. What are the impacts of Ferranti effect? How to overcome the Ferranti effect? Then you have to study about different type of protective schemes, about feeder protection, transformer protection, protection of the transmission line. Then you have to make a list on different type of IE rules, which can be expected. And you have to speak about the different type of power factor correction methods. And what do you mean by power triangle, importance of real power, reactive power units, all the things should be familiar. Then you have to understand about different terminology related to power plants, like reserve capacity, plant capacity factor, plant utilization factor, all the things you have to recall. And you have to recall about the information of corona effect. Okay, what are the factors? You may get the questions related to different factors affecting corona. And finally, you have to recall some more information about Ferranti effect. So these are the important questions which can be expected for upcoming examination, or related to some points which I discussed. We can expect some kind of questions also. Finally, thank you very much for watching this video.